I welcome all of you for this CS Professional Tax revision batch for December 2022 exams. I hope you all are excited for the batch and you all are looking forward to it. This batch, what's the main intention of taking this batch and why revision batch so early? Because usually what revision batches we take are quite 1 month before exam at the most, but now this is 50 days before the exam. What is the intention of this batch? Why we have to take this batch? So when I communicated with students, I found out that many of them need a boost for studies, right? Many of them need momentum. Many of them need motivation and inspiration each day. Yes. So obviously for that reason, we are starting the batch early. That's one reason. Second reason behind starting the batch early is theory topic should be given a due weightage and a due importance. Yes, for that reason also we are starting the batch early. So in these 8 days, first 8 days or first 8 sessions, I would say, we can do theory topics and then we can take about 15 days break and then do other topics. This way, check how this batch is going to be conducted. So I have put forward before you this index, and this, rather than index, I would say a timetable. Yes, it is visible to all of you. Just let me know in the chat window. Yes, it is visible to all of you. So today we are going to do a small topic, that is assessment and audit. Yes. Secondly, we are going to do tomorrow 2 sessions we are going to have. Okay. So don't be surprised. One will be 6:30 to 8 and another will be 8 to 9:30. Okay. One will be advanced rulings under GST and then we will be doing demand and recovery under GST. Even 29th we are going to have 2 sessions. Documents under GST and account records, filing of returns. Yes, so usually the topics, yes, which you might feel like neglecting, we are literally going to cover them in this batch itself. Even though I'm calling it a revision batch, we are going to do all these things in depth, I guarantee you. Then friends, 30th, that is Sunday, I have kept off. Okay. Then 31st, appeals and revision, and first, refund under GST. Second, inspection, search, seizure, arrest and penalties. So that way till 2nd we are completing this, what you can say, this 8 sessions, right? Is it clear to all of you? These 8 sessions will be completed by 2nd of November. 3rd November we have kept as what? Yes, as a reserve day. Then from 4th onwards for few days I am not there in Pune. Then I am taking executive batch. Then I'll be engaged in some other tasks. So I'm not calling them as reserve days. But then we start again on 24th. When we start back on 24th, then straightforward 24th till, yes, till 1st of December, we are completing with other 10 sessions. Okay. So on 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, you can see the schedule. On 27th, we are going to, which is Sunday, we are going to take 2 sessions of 3 hours each. So we are going to take 6-hour sessions on 27th. Okay. 28, 29, 30 single session, and again on last day of our batch, that is 1st December, we are going to take 2 sessions of 3 hours each. Okay. Don't be tensed. This all will go in a very systematic and smooth manner with requisite breaks when needed. Is it clear? And will you get recordings of all these things? Answer is absolutely yes. You are going to get recordings of each and every of this session, which could be played unlimited times on the app. Agreed? So all these things you have to do patiently. If some session you miss, then no issues, you can go back and watch that recording. Will notes be given? Yes, as required the notes will be put up on the, yes, Google Drive. If you check your WhatsApp's description, in the description of WhatsApp I have put 3 links. First link is for attending Zoom classes. Yes, can you see that? Second link is for downloading the app, which you don't do right now. You do it after batches, after today's day is over. You download the app and join that batch. Third is Google Drive notes. Yes, so we have provided you with all these 3 things. No confusion at all. And you're constantly in touch with me via WhatsApp. Okay. Yes, so in today's session only I am telling you so many non-tax things. Otherwise all these sessions will be full of tax. Agreed, all of you? Yes, some doubts are there with, yes, Himani. So what should I refer? I have your cracker. Please do A to Z of Taxman cracker, I would say. And see this span from today 27th October till 1st December. Whatever subjects you are doing, okay, in that add tax. Those subjects plus tax. Okay, and I guarantee you your score in tax will be 60 plus. That's what we want. Our straightforward target is 60 plus in tax. Do you promise me that you are going to give your 100% in this upcoming days? Yes. Yes, sir. Wonderful. Wonderful. Just promise it to me that you are going to give your 100% till 1st of December, and of course after that as well. After that, of course, we are going to conduct 200 marks, means 2 tests of 100 marks each. 2 mock tests of 100 marks each. Plus, we have already uploaded 5 mock papers of test topic wise. Check that. Exclusive revision batch students don't have it, but I will just share that link with you on the WhatsApp. So you can have access to those papers as well. 9 more topic wise papers coming up. So with all these things, your 60 marks should be secured. Okay. On last day of the batch, I'll be telling you the, ABC analysis, or you can say 60-20-20 analysis. On last day of the batch, I'll be telling you that. Okay. And what to do one day before exam, that also we will be discussing. So, be assured about those things. Okay. Secondly, today itself I am telling you how 60 marks are possible. If I go for weightage, Ulka, weightage, Ketki, is like this. 60 for GST, 10 for customs. Yes. 10 for international tax, 20 for income tax. So out of 60, we have to get at least 70%. So what is at least 70% of 60? What is 70% of 60? Is it 42? Yes, all people loving maths here. 42. Then out of 10 marks of customs, can we get at least 5? So what is 5? 50% of 10? We can get 50% marks in customs. So 42 plus 5, 47. And friends, out of international tax 10 marks, can we get again 5 out of that? So 52. And income tax 8 out of 20. Does it make it 60? So revision batch is going to be conducted in that fashion, so that these targets are achieved and you get minimum 60. I am underlining the word minimum. Okay, so please be confident, attend this batch. You will after this batch understand what are your strength points, what are your weakness. Correct? So please work on them. Keep on working till 1st December and complete your tax A to Z till 1st December. Okay, so please, someone is on unmute, I think. So who is on unmute? Please mute yourself. Okay, okay. Okay, just 1 second. Now is it okay? Yes, sir. Okay, okay, okay. Fine, no issues. Now absolutely fine. So anyone missed out on any point because of the disturbance? Let me know. No, you did not miss any point. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So let me just check. Have I told you all the points before going to today's technical thing? If you observe, today technically what we have to cover is just assessments and audit. That's a very small part, but I had to tell you so many things, right? That's why I have kept a smaller topic today relatively. So yes, I told you that daily I'll be keeping on motivating you whenever you feel low. Whenever you feel like, I will not give this module, not give that module, just message me. I am here to motivate you, right? I want to tell you one thing, that from today you go on a term which I have discovered just now: fasting. Fasting, not food wise, but mobile fasting. Okay, please guarantee me, please promise me that you will go on a mobile fasting from today. Okay, you will at the most check only this WhatsApp group. That's it. The WhatsApp group of your classes, whatever it is, nothing else. Okay, please promise me that. This is going to be a big game changer. Okay, this is going to be a big game changer. If you're already doing it, congratulations, you must have seen the effects of that. But if you're not doing it, please start it immediately. Okay, when I give you break, don't check mobile. When any time in your studies you take a break, don't check mobile. In your office work, when you take a break, don't check mobile. So please go on mobile fasting. You have to live next few days of your life like no one else will live, so that you can live rest of your life on your own terms. If you want to live rest of your life on your own terms, okay, then you have to, change few habits so that your path will be easy. I'm not saying that if you use mobile you will fail, but I'm just saying that if you want your path to be easy, why to have unnecessary disturbances and hindrances, right? So now Diwali is over, everything is done. So see, this batch starts exactly after Diwali. The reason behind doing that was to immediately get you out of that Diwali celebration. Right, now that positivity of Diwali is in you. Now that positivity needs to be converted in action. That was the whole motto behind keeping this batch, starting this immediately on 27th. Okay, so understand that motto and remember the term mobile fasting. Write it somewhere. Okay, I am not saying zero mobile, but I am saying that you fix a time for yourself, that in a day at this time 10 minutes, that's it. Yes, selective, be very selective. Okay, कुछ समझ में नहीं आया तो मोबाइल देखा, then don't do like that. That if you don't realize what to do, look at the mobile. No, you can do many things in that time. Okay, what to do in that time I have told you earlier. I am again telling you what to do in that time. Keep a checklist with you of 10 good things to be done and do it on daily basis. Okay, I told you that 45 minutes physical exercise on daily basis. It can be brisk walking, 15 minutes of keeping calm. Let's not call it meditation, you will get in tension. So 15 minutes of keeping calm. Okay, 20 minutes of reading some book which can give you quick motivation. Yes, something like this could be incorporated in your breaks. And of course you have lunch, dinner, okay, as your filler. So avoid mobile. I have told you its drastic effects. Drastic effects are that one of your friend gets married. Now which color lehenga she is wearing, where is she going for honeymoon, okay, it's not going to add value in your life right now. So keep it aside, all these things. And what happens is, if you have 10 friends and in next 3 months there is birthday of 5 friends, and if you celebrate one friend's birthday, then you cannot avoid other 4 friends. Are you getting my point? It's a genuine point which I am telling you. So you have to avoid all. Best is avoid all for next 3 months. One question you should ask yourself for next 3 months is it adding value to my studies? Before taking any task, ask yourself, is it going to add value in my studies? If answer is yes, do it. If answer is no, avoid it. Means what? You want to do exercise. Is it going to add value? Yes. If you exercise, effectiveness will go up. So yes, please undertake that task. Watching a movie, if it's as a refreshment, please watch it. If some person meeting him is going to drain your energy, don't meet. Not needed. So please be selective. That's what I want to tell you. Be conscious in spending your time, because time is equal to energy. It might happen that you will feel that, okay, 1 hour only I'll watch particular movie or web series. But if that web series has some negative impact subconsciously on you, then it is going to waste your next 7 hours, because you might feel drained out after watching it. So don't do such things. Is it clear to all of you? So is it clear how to get 16 tax? Is it clear what is mobile fasting? Is it clear what question you are going to ask yourself? Is it value adding in my studies? That's the question you are going to ask. Schedule of the batch I have told you. In this batch, you can see the schedule and you can understand there is a coverage of all the things. Okay, it's going to somewhere 36 to 50 hours. Yes. So one instruction to you will be, whatever you have done in the main batch, the notes, continue with those notes. Okay. So I would not be interested in giving any special notes for this batch. Continue with those notes. Okay. Wherever required, I'll give you extra notes. ABC analysis and one day before exam, I will tell you later on in this batch. What else I wanted to tell you? I told you about recordings on the app. Yes. So now friends, let's go to today's topic. How many students have joined in? 31. Wonderful. This attendance should keep on increasing only day by day. Okay. And more number of people should attend live and should keep the cameras on, so that we get a feeling that literally we are sitting in the class. And I understand at what pace I should go. Right? So this keeping camera on is helpful for me as well as you. Indirectly it helps me, so it directly helps you. First, you remain conscious while watching. Correct? And second, when I feel good and I feel that I am in control of the batch, then better delivery happens of the subject. So of course, which is again of your own benefit. Chalo, so let's start friends. Today I have sent you already notes of this topic, assessment and audit. What is the weightage of this topic? I'll keep on telling you weightages as well of the topics. Maximum weightage of these both topics together would be 5 marks in your exam. I told you that we have kept a very light topic today. So maximum weightage could be 5 marks. But yes, still we should do it. Where it will help us, we don't know. So let's do it. When we friends, okay, before going to this, any questions that you have to ask me? Please feel free to ask the questions. Only thing is, in the chat window you have to ask me the questions. Always all of you will keep your microphones on mute. We have shown you demo. What happens if it is on unmute, right? Okay. No sir, good to go. Okay, Pratiksha. Any point that you did not understand, or any point on which you need any point which you need me to elaborate on? Murassa, everything is clear? Yes. Himani? Ketki? Yes. It naturally happens that those who are in front of me, then their names would be taken. Ulka, clear? Fine, friends. The screen is blur. Okay. Sir, where we'll get this notes on Google Drive now? It's already there, Himani. It's already there. If you check the description, in the description of this WhatsApp group, you will get all the things. Okay, friends, let us start. When we talk about assessment, what does it mean? Your performance will be assessed. Okay. I have requested for accessing the notes. Rishika is saying. So, you don't have access to the notes as of now? No? Okay. Let me check what is the issue. Okay, okay. Wait. Good that you told me. In 1 minute, I'll give you that. 1 second. Copy the link. Link copy it. Check. Now, check with the link on your WhatsApp. Now, tell me. Still requires access? Okay, just 1 second again. Manage access. Anyone with the link. Now check. Yes, got it. Wonderful. Let's start, friends. Assessment means what? Assessment means checking. Assess means to check. Okay. So we are talking about assessment in GST. Assessment in GST, friends, all of you know that I am very obsessive with section numbers. So I'll tell you section 59, 60, 61, 62, 63 and 64. How many sections I told you just now? 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. 6 sections. These 6 sections are talking about assessment in GST. Okay. So if you want to note down, you can note down. 59, 60, 61, 62, 63 and 64. First one is self-assessment. What is 59? 59 is self-assessment. Okay, self-assessment means own assessment. You know, very simple self-assessment. When assessee will do his own assessment of GST, that is called as self-assessment. So every assessee in India will be doing self-assessment of GST. Agreed? Means what? Determining your own output tax, determining your own ITC, paying net GST and filing the return. You know, filing of return under GST. So that is basically self-assessment, which is section 59. Okay, so did you write in front of 59? It is self-assessment. Friends, 60 is provisional assessment. Okay, 60 is provisional assessment, which yes, we will discuss in detail. We have nice 1 hour in this batch left. Yes, 61 is scrutiny of returns. 61 is scrutiny of returns. Mind you, 62 and 63, both Pratiksha, 62 and 63 are called as best judgment assessments. What are they called as? Best judgment assessments. Okay. So to be specific, 62 is assessment of non-filers. Assessment of non-filers of returns is 62. 62 is assessment of non-filers of returns. 63 is assessment of unregistered persons. 63 is assessment of unregistered persons. And finally, friends, 64 is summary assessment. What is 64? Summary assessment. Okay. Okay. What is self-assessment? I told you. Any doubt in self-assessment? Okay. Because no further discussion will happen about self-assessment. Then comes provisional assessment. So in general I will tell you now, and then we'll go in depth. Provisional assessment means what? If I am not sure about what is my GST liability, because I have a problem in valuation, or I have a problem in some other aspect of GST, then what I can do is I can apply for something called as provisional assessment. You have heard about the word provisional. Provisional means what? Time being. Okay, screen is blur. Okay. But what I am doing is I am not referring anything on the screen. So two things you can do. One is focus on me. Second is you can keep the notes open. So when I have to go to any specific page, I will tell you that go to so and so page. Clear? We'll try to work out something with the screen. Okay, got it? So keep that open also. I'll tell you when we need to go to any specific page. Yes, what I was telling you, provisional. Provisional means for time being. Time being means temporary. Yes, like you have appeared for your 12th exam, but you want to appear for CS Foundation, or for that matter CA Foundation. Then you give a temporary, you get a temporary registration. You get provisional registration, not final. Provisional because the mark sheet of 12th standard is pending. Got it? So when something is pending, it is called as provisional. Agreed, all of you? So here we are talking about provisional assessment. Okay. Then 61 is scrutiny of returns. Friends, tell me one thing. Is it necessary that after self-assessment, every person's return will be scrutinized? Scrutinized means checked. The answer is no. Officer may have doubt on some assessees, or randomly officer can pick some assessees and do their scrutiny. Scrutiny means in-depth verification, because first was self-assessment, na? So to check whether self-assessment is done correctly, officers may do scrutiny of returns. It is covered in 61. Then why I am calling 62 and 63 as best judgment? Because it is at the judgment, at the best of the judgment of the officer to find out liability of assessee. Okay. So suppose na, in while I'm discussing theory, if particular word clicks to you कि हाँ, because of this word I'll be able to recollect the entire concept, then better quickly take down that word in front of that concept. Okay, so when I'm talking to you, try finding out such word. So provisional assessment means provisional nahi, best judgment assessment means to the best of the judgment of the officer, he will do the assessment of the assessee. Agreed? Judge means there is a discretion. If I judge a person, means there is discretion. If I say so and so person celebrated Diwali in a nice way, but it could have been better, what I'm doing, I'm judging. So it is to the best of my judgment. So here officer is judging what could be the liability of that assessee. Because if you observe in section 62, assessee has not filed the GST return. So how can officer determine his liability? On the best of his knowledge and judgment. And in 63 scenario is worst. In 63 what is the scenario? The assessee has not at all registered under GST. So officer will have to apply best of the judgment to compute his liability. That is your 63. And finally, friends, 64 is summary assessment. What is summary assessment? Summary assessment means officer has some doubt, and with that doubt he is doing the assessment. Okay, officer has a doubt that there is some problem in computation of GST liability. So with that judgment, with that notion, he does the assessment, that is summary assessment. So 6 types of assessment. Let us start. Check the meaning of the word assessment. Assessment means determination of tax liability under this act and includes self-assessment, reassessment, provisional assessment, summary assessment, and best judgment assessment. So they have given you 5 types because best judgment has 2 subtypes: non-filers and unregistered persons. Wonderful. Clear, all of you? In exam, what could be the question? Question could be write short note on best judgment assessment, or what is the meaning of best judgment assessment. So you have to write about those 2 assessments. Or the question could be implied question, that it so happens that the taxable person is not filing the returns. Now what is the action that officer can take? So you have to point out to the best judgment assessment of non-filers of returns. Or there could be a question that, a supplier is not getting himself registered in spite of turnover exceeding so and so limit. You know what is the limit for registration? 20 lakhs / 40 lakhs / in some cases 10 lakhs. So you will point out to the section of best judgment assessment for non-registered or unregistered persons, right? Then chalo, let's read what is self-assessment. Every person registered under the act shall himself assess the tax payable by him for a tax period. What is tax period? A month. Okay. Or in case of composite dealer, a quarter. And after such assessment, he shall file the return required under section 39. Clear? Yes. Then comes provisional assessment. So are you ready for provisional assessment? Probably this is one of the most important types of assessment. Read it step by step. In what cases I have doubt? I have doubt as an registered person in 2 cases. In either of the 2 cases. What cases? So provisional assessment provides a method for determining tax liability in case taxable person is unable to determine value of taxable supply of goods or determine rate of tax? Yes, wonderful. So there are two problems that can happen: valuation or deciding the rate of tax. Got it? In these two situations, see, I am not able to understand what is the value of goods. That's why I am confused as a registered person, or I am not able to understand what is the percentage of GST applicable. That's why I am confused. What will I do? I may go ahead and pay GST by making application under provisional assessment. Okay. So see, there might be situations when these two determinants might not be readily possible and may be subject to outcome of process that requires deliberation and time. Thus, when taxable person is unable to determine value of goods or services or both, or the rate of tax applicable on such goods or services or both to be supplied by him, he may means what? Is it compulsory or is it optional? Obviously provisional assessment is optional, so he may furnish an application in prescribed form stating therein the reason for payment of tax on provisional basis along with documents in support of his request electronically through common portal, either directly or through facilitation center notified by commissioner. In short friends, till now what you should pick up from this is it is optional. It can be made when there is a confusion in rate of GST or value, and third, he may make an this way he may make an application. In short, it's optional. Clear till this point? Next, what happens? Proper officer may, on receipt of application, issue a notice in prescribed form requiring registered person to furnish additional information or documents in support of his request. An applicant shall file a reply to the notice and may appear in person before the said officer if he so desires. Why so, friends? I want to make application for provisional assessment. So now tell me, who is going to tell me my final liability? Who will tell me my final liability? The officer. Very good. So for him to decide my liability, I should give him the information. Yes or no? So that information I have already given while making application. But if further information is wanted, then can officer demand further information? Yes. Wonderful. That's the point. Is it clear? And if that demand is made by him, I should go and furnish those documents. Now what will happen? Proper officer shall. Word used is what? Shall. It's now compulsory for proper officer to issue order. What order? Within a period not later than 90 days from date of receipt of such request, allowing payment of tax on provisional basis, indicating the value or rate or both on basis of which assessment is to be allowed on provisional basis, and the amount for which the bond is to be executed and security to be furnished. Okay. Now understand what we are trying to say. As an officer, you have received application for provisional assessment. Within how many days you will tell me that on what value I should pay GST, or at what percentage I should pay GST? Within 90 days from date of receipt of application. You will tell me. Agreed? Yes. Wonderful. And obviously it may happen that liability increases afterwards on final assessment. So for that I should give you in writing that I will pay. that I will pay the balance if any. As a officer, you are telling me my liability is 1 lakh rupees provisionally, but you know it may be 2 lakhs also on final assessment. So to cover that additional 1 lakh rupees, I should give you a bond in writing. And I should not only give bond, I should provide you a security. To what extent? To the extent of 25% of the amount under in that bond. Agreed? Is it clear to all of you? Yes. Clear? Yes, no? All of you in the meeting? I can see 30 of you. Are you dormant participants? Yes. No. You are listening to me. Wonderful. And you are understanding and you are noting down the important points that you feel. Yes. Very good. Very good. Now, furnishing of bond and security. The payment of tax on provisional basis may be allowed if taxable person executes a bond in prescribed form along with security. Okay. Very good. Very good, Ramya. Means just in short, you keep these points in mind. Bond is document whereby taxpayer binds himself to pay the differential tax, if any. That's what I told you. Payable on finalization of provisional assessment. Security is required to be furnished in the form of bank guarantee for an amount as the proper officer may deem fit, but it should not exceed how much? 25% of the amount covered under the bond. Okay. Is it clear to all of you? Okay, that's it. So I think till this point you can do here. Okay, nothing substantial in next paragraph. Finalization of provisional assessment. Okay, the final assessment order has to be passed by proper officer within period of 6 months from date of communication of order of provisional assessment. Do you all remember within how many days order was given? Order was given in 90 days. Very good. Rushikesh, Karthik, yes. Imani, good. Now, after that communication of order paying provisional amount, within that day, okay, from that day, within 6 months, what should be done? Finalization of, amount to be paid, right? However, on sufficient cause being shown and for reasons to be recorded in writing, the above period of 6 months may be extended. So always you have seen there are extensions of period if required. So by joint or additional commissioner, it can be extended up to 6 months, and by commissioner up to 4 months, 4 years. Agreed? So who is higher in hierarchy? Obviously commissioner is higher in hierarchy than joint and additional commissioner. So joint and additional commissioner up to 6 months, commissioner up to 4 years. Is it clear to all of you? And obviously a notice will be given for finalization of assessment. That is what next paragraph is saying. It's very good. And it is obvious, friends, if originally provisional assessment is done at 1 lakh, but final tax payable is 1,50,000, then obviously, could I repeat commissioner wala point? Yes. What I said is very simple. Commissioner is at the highest level, and below commissioner who you have? Below commissioner you have joint commissioner, right? So for joint commissioner, to what term he can extend is 6 months. That time period for giving the final assessment, he can extend by 6 months only. but commissioner can extend up to 4 years. So higher power to commissioner. Yes. Than joint commissioner and additional commissioner. Yes, sir. Clear. Wonderful. So what point I was telling you is 1.5 lakhs is final liability, but 1 lakh you had paid on provisional basis. How much additional needs to be paid? 50,000 rupees need to be paid. Yes, that 50,000 rupees will be paid along with interest. Agreed? Why interest? See, you were expected to do self-assessment. Do you agree? Which is the original assessment that you are supposed to do? Self-assessment. You are incapable of doing that. You are incapable of doing that. Hence, we did provisional assessment. Agreed? Now, if you are not paying full amount in the beginning only, it is considered as your delay in payment. See, I'll give you example, okay? Value originally should have been 10 lakhs. Value originally should have been 10 lakhs. So on 10 lakhs at 18%, what is GST? 1,80,000. Agreed? But what was determined in provisional assessment was only 1 lakh. So how much is short paid? Short paid is 80,000 rupees. On that 80,000 rupees, that 80,000 actually should have been paid, you know, in that month when there is a time of supply. But it is actually paid afterwards. So there attracts interest. That interest will be at 18% per annum. Pratiksha, 18%. From where do I get 18%? I get 18% from section 50. The rate of interest for delay in payment of GST is what? Is 18%. So I will read for you the relevant paragraph where tax liability as per final assessment is higher than the provisional assessment. So in case any tax amount becomes payable subsequent to finalization of provisional assessment, then interest at the specified rate will also be payable. Specified rate is 18% by taxable person from the first day after due date of payment of tax till the date of actual payment, whether such amount is paid before or after issuance of order for final assessment. I am going to cover one numerical also on this, so don't worry. And what to do, friends? You paid how much? Suppose you paid 2 lakh rupees, but finally payable was 1,80,000. Then what will happen? You will get a very good refund of rupees 20,000. On that refund, department will pay you interest. But very different case. Interest will start from which date? You will make application for refund. Then 60 days grace period will be given to government. And after that the interest will start. Okay, so I'll read the relevant paragraph for you. So where tax liability as per final assessment is less than in provisional assessment. In case any tax amount becomes refundable subsequent to finalization of provisional assessment, then interest is payable at specified rate. What's the specified rate? Specified rate is here 6%. When you were paying, it was at, I know it was at 18%. When they are paying you, it is at 6% per annum for period of delay. Okay, that is beyond 60 days from date of final assessment order. Agreed? Yes. See, and finally, when you make the payment, the balance payment, if any, when you make, your security which you have given, that security will get released. You have given some, you have given some amount as security to the government, that will get released. Okay. So this illustration you can go through. See, exactly such illustration could be asked in the exam. That so and so situation has happened, that this company who is supplying medical equipment is in confusion. It's not sure about rate of IGST applicable, whether it's 18 or 28%. Then what it should do in such situation? So it may make application for provisional assessment. May, if they want, they may make application for provisional assessment. Agreed, all of you? Understood? Remind me before today's day ends, means before today's session ends, we'll take one numerical also on provisional assessment. Then comes scrutiny of returns. Okay, what is scrutiny of returns? And see, all of you must be at different stage. Means some of you might have done this earlier completely, then it's a revision for them. So again they may not open the book. But if you are doing this for the first time, or if some points from this were missing, then immediately after today's session, for 15 minutes you can sit and reconcile those points. Correct? That's why I said this is a reciprocation, this revision batch. Okay, you will have to work before this and after this. Before this means whole schedule is given to you. So before starting tomorrow's session, you can come already to some extent revised, then sit for revision batch, then whatever something new you find, you can sit and reconcile. Make a very smart use of this revision batch. Chalo, scrutiny of returns. A return furnished by registered person may it's optional, may be selected for scrutiny by proper officer to verify its correctness. Where any return furnished by registered person is selected for scrutiny, proper officer shall scrutinize the same with reference to information available to him. Agreed? So you know friends, scrutiny is not something danger. If it's not something danger for the assessee, if assessee has maintained all the accounts, records, documents, then scrutiny is a routine for him. Agreed? But if there is any problem, if there is any fraud which this supplier has done, then scrutiny might be a task for him. Agreed? Scrutiny is not equal to raid. Scrutiny and raid are different. Scrutiny is a routine checking taken up by officer, proper officer, okay, for the assessee. So in case any discrepancy is found during scrutiny, if at all discrepancy is found, means what? Discrepancy is found means what? Stock is not matching, okay, or ITC extra taken, or valuation done less, some issue is done by the assessee, proper officer shall issue notice to said person, informing him of such discrepancy and seeking his explanation thereto within such time. What is the time within which he is issuing such notice, issuing such explanation? 30 days from date of service of notice, or such further period as may be permitted by him, and also where possible quantifying the amount of tax, interest and any other amount payable in relation to such discrepancy. Now apply logic. As a registered person, you have got a scrutiny. In your scrutiny, I found some mistake. in your records I found some discrepancy, then I will issue notice to you. You are expected to communicate to me within 30 days. What will you communicate? See, you will either accept the discrepancy, yes or no? Yes, you will either accept the discrepancy as mentioned in the notice. Of course, if you accept discrepancy, ki haan, there is an undervaluation of 1 lakh rupees. Then on 1 lakh, what is the tax? 18,000. That 18,000 you will pay along with interest. Okay. Or if you don't accept, then means you feel that your opinion is correct. There is no undervaluation. But officer is saying that there is undervaluation. Then you will give an explanation for discrepancy to the proper officer. Agreed? Then now what officer will do? See, if you have accepted now that so and so tax was payable by me and you have already paid it, there is no tension. But if you are what? Opposing the discrepancy found out by proper officer, then now proper officer will have to take the action. What action he will take? See, where explanation furnished by a registered person is found acceptable, proper officer shall inform him accordingly and no further action shall be taken. But in case no satisfactory explanation is furnished by a registered person, then what to do? If no satisfactory explanation is furnished by a registered person, or where registered person after accepting discrepancies fails to take corrective measure in his return, okay, the proper officer may take recourse. Very important, what proper officer can do. So what the scrutiny can lead to? Ketki, what the scrutiny can lead to? Scrutiny can lead to audit. Audit of section 65. Audit of section 65 means general audit. General audit which is undertaken by proper officer. Proper officer will now go and check the books of accounts in detail. That is, he can go ahead and do general audit. Agreed, all of you? If general audit, suppose he feels, proper officer feels, no, general audit is not sufficient, then B point. What is B point? Special audit. Special audit means officer will nominate chartered accountant, okay, or cost accountant. So direct conduct of special audit, or undertake procedure of inspection, search, seizure, or initiate proceedings directly for determining, how much tax is short paid and not paid of section 73 or 74. 73, 74 is basically demand. 73 is demand when fraud is not involved, and 74 is demand when fraud is involved. Is it clear to all of you? How many actions are there which could be taken? There are 4 actions actually. One is normal audit, 65, special audit, inspection, search, seizure, and lastly, of course, demand and recovery under section 73 and 74. Is it agreed? तो एक्चुअली मेरा एम क्या है कि आपका इस बैच में हो जाए. इफ यू हैव स्टडीड इट अर्लियर, आपका इस बैच में फिर से मतलब आपको ये चीज़ें करने की जरूरत है. देयर इज नो नीड फॉर यू टू अगेन डू दिस थिंग्स इफ यू ऑलरेडी डन दिस. तो आपका फिट हो जाएगा. इट विल बी फिट विथ यू. You need not have to again open book for reading, assessment and audit. Chalo. Shall we go ahead? Okay. Now, assessment of non-filers of returns. Okay. So this is best judgment assessment. See, it's given in the heading. So when the assessee fails to furnish return, okay, and a notice under 46 has been issued, means warning has been given to him to file the return, still is not filing, then proper officer may proceed to assess tax liability of said person to the best of his judgment. His means whose? His means whose judgment? Of course, proper officer's judgment, taking into account all relevant material which is available or which he has gathered. Agreed? Time limit. In this, time limit can become important. Time limit is within 5 years. Okay. So the order for best judgment assessment shall be issued by proper officer in prescribed form and summary will be uploaded electronically. What is the time limit? Within a period of 5 years, but 5 years from what? From due date of furnishing of annual return. Okay. Now, just here example is given. If we are talking about non-filing of some return of financial year 17-18, then 17-18 financial year ends on which date? 31st March 2018. Then now please tell me what is due date of filing annual return. No need to see whether he has filed return or not. You have to check due date of filing annual return for 17-18. Due date under GST we are discussing. Due date of annual return under GST. Yes, it's 31st December 2018. From that you count 5 years. So 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Check. Till 31st December 23. Can you see? Till 31st December 23. He should make, the proper officer should issue notice for best judgment assessment. Is it agreed? All of you, please let me know quickly. Yes, very good. Withdrawal of assessment order. Okay. Where registered person furnishes valid return for default period within 30 days of service of assessment order passed on best judgment basis, the said assessment order shall be deemed to have been withdrawn. Agreed? So I think this much you should do with respect to best judgment assessment of non-filers. Is it clear? Shall we go ahead? No need to do this circular. Could you repeat withdrawal? Okay. Rishika, if I have served as an officer, I have served this notice of section 62. I have served notice for assessment of section 62. But within that time, from the notice, within 30 days, if return is furnished, then that notice stands to be withdrawn. Check. Read it. See, where registered person furnishes a valid return for default period within 30 days of service of assessment order, okay, the said assessment order shall be deemed to have been withdrawn. Clear? Rishika? Very good. Now comes assessment of unregistered persons. Okay. So for unregistered persons, I'll tell you one thing which is common: time limit. Within what time proper officer can do such assessment? Within 5 years. From what? From due date of the financial year to which the tax liability of such unregistered person relates to. Agreed? And in earlier case it was return is not furnished. From that time, 5 years. Agreed? See, when he fails to obtain registration or his registration has been cancelled, but who was liable to pay tax, then the proper officer may proceed to assess liability of said unregistered person to the best of his judgment for relevant tax periods. Issue of notice. Okay, now when this notice is issued, how much time is given for him to reply? Can you check? 15 days. Okay, and one thing, no such assessment order shall be passed without giving person an opportunity of being heard. Right? Natural justice, principle of natural justice is being followed. Time limit same, 5 years from the due date of furnishing annual return for financial year to which non-payment of tax relates. Agreed? Now I am asking you this question, that if we are talking about liability of taking registration arising in 18-19 financial year, then what is the due date of filing annual return for 18-19? 18-19 will end on 31st March 19. Do you agree? What is the due date of filing annual return under GST for 18-19? It will be 31st March 19. Calculate 5 years from 31st December 19. Calculate 5 years from 31st December 19. Check. It will be 31st December 24. Agreed? Very good. So I hope you understood very well best judgment assessment. Quickly tell me 2 assessments covered under best judgment. I'll just drink bottle of water. Have 2 sips of water. Which are those 2 assessments under best judgment? Yes. Non-filers and assessment of unregistered persons. What is the time limit? Time limit is dash years from due date of filing. 5 years. Wonderful. What is the rate of interest in provisional assessment if there is delay in payment from assessee's side? 18% per annum. And if any refund is due to him? Yes, 6% per annum. Correct. Very good. And which is that assessment which every assessee does every tax period? Very good. Self-assessment. Is provisional assessment the only option when I am confused about the rate of GST or the value? No, that is not the only option. We are going to learn something called as advance ruling also. Okay, and he may not take any of that. He can just pay GST, okay, on self-assessment. He may not go for provisional assessment. Yes. And will scrutiny assessment be done on every assessee? Or no, it will not be done on every assessee. It may be undertaken. What are the outcomes that can come from scrutiny assessment? Outcomes that can come from scrutiny assessment includes what? It includes either audit of 65. No. Himani, I'm asking about what are the outcomes that can come out of a scrutiny assessment. Means conclusion that officer will make after scrutiny assessment. So conclusion he can make is that to determine the exact liability, okay, we may need general audit, special audit, search, scissor inspection. And if we have decided the liability, then we need to demand it from assessee. How to demand? 7374. What is 73? Demand of GST where fraud is not involved. What is 74? Demand of GST where fraud is involved. Agreed? Wonderful. See, if further I want to find out now, as an officer, if liability is there or not, I'll go for audit, either normal, general or special. I'll go for inspection. But if I have finalized that this is the liability that assessee should pay, then I will go for demand, which is under 7374. Agreed? How the interpretation is? All of you, yes, no? Yes. Now comes, friends, summary assessment. In certain special cases, when it can be made. Okay. First and foremost, remember that proper officer has evidence that taxable person has incurred a liability to pay tax, and he has a sufficient grounds to believe that delay in passing such assessment order may adversely affect interest of revenue. Adversely affect interest of revenue means, if I tell you that writing answer in such a way will adversely affect your marks, means what? It will decrease your marks. That way, if I am saying adversely affect interest of revenue means loss of revenue to a department. So if you don't pay GST, which you are supposed to pay, whom it will affect? Negatively, department. That's why as an officer, I will issue summary assessment. When I can see in front of my eyes that if you don't pay, it will affect our department, I will issue on you something called as summary assessment. समझ में है ना? Did you get it? Yes. चलो. You can go through withdrawal of assessment order. When it can be withdrawn? On application filed by taxable person for withdrawal of summary assessment order within 30 days, or on his own motion. Own motion means when he himself, officer himself, finds such order to be erroneous, incorrect, and may instead follow procedures laid down in section 73 or 74. Okay. And then deemed a taxable person in case of supply of goods. This is not directly related to summary assessment as such. Clear? So this completes our types of assessments. Okay. Be ready for question of provisional assessment. That's what I think they could ask. Doesn't mean you should not do other things. Either it could be provisional assessment or best judgment assessment. Now, going to audit by tax authorities. Okay. Points to be understood is, 1. Audit by tax authorities means officers themselves are doing. Okay. Officers themselves are doing the audit. That is audit by tax authorities. And if they are assigning this audit to a cost accountant or chartered accountant, that's a special audit covered in section 66. Okay. So see, who may conduct this audit of 65? Audit of any registered person will be undertaken by commissioner or any officer authorized by him. Him means commissioner. Audit may be carried out at a place of business of registered person or in their office. The period of audit could be for financial year or part thereof or multiples thereof. In short, it could be any period as selected by the officer. Okay. Then, see, it's not a surprise visit. Where it is decided to undertake the audit of registered person, proper officer shall issue a notice not less than 15 working days prior to conduct of the audit. Did you get the point? Notice will be given prior to 15 days. Okay. So what is commencement of audit? That is being discussed here. But what point you should remember? That notice will be given at least 15 days prior to commencement of audit. Agreed? Then time limit for completion of audit: 3 months from date of commencement of audit. Okay, this period can be further extended for period of 6 months. Clear? How to conduct the audit, you can go through that. So basically books of accounts will be checked. Okay, then how the registered person should cooperate with the officer, that is being given here in these 3 points. To facilitate verification of accounts records available or requisite by the authorities. Requested. Requisite means requested. To provide such information as authorities may require for conduct of the audit, and to render assistance for timely completion of audit. Okay. Then finalization of audit. Proper officer may inform registered person of discrepancies noticed, if any, as observations of audit, and the said person may file his reply. Said person means the assessee. Proper officer shall finalize the findings of the audit after due consideration of reply furnished by registered person to the audit observations. Okay. So basically communication is happening between proper officer and a registered person. On conclusion of audit, proper officer shall within 30 days inform the registered persons whose records are audited about the audit findings and reasons for such findings. Proper officer shall also inform said person his rights and obligations against such observations. And friends, what this can lead to? The entire audit of section 65 can lead to demanding the GST, which is not paid, short paid, erroneously refunded, correct, or ITC wrongly availed or utilized. In short, assessee had less paid the tax, not at all paid the tax, or got extra refund, or unnecessarily claimed ITC, correct. This will be now recovered from the assessee. How to recover? By giving him notice. Which notice? Either under section 73 or 74. 73 means you know, where fraud is not involved. 74 means where fraud is involved. Wonderful. Got it? Where audit can result to, because audit was for finding. And now comes special audit. Okay, mind you friends, very specific opinion has been made by officer. Who has made opinion? Officer. What opinion? That there is either undervaluation or ITC availed is very high. That opinion is made by whom? Proper officer. Then we have to find out, that proper officer has to find out whether what he thinks is absolutely true or not true. So he will assign this task to whom? He will assign this task to a chartered accountant or cost accountant by asking them to do a special audit. Agreed? All of you? Let me know. Yes, very good. If at any stage of scrutiny, inquiry, investigation, or any other proceedings before him, any officer not below rank of assistant commissioner, so it should be at least assistant commissioner, as a proper officer. At least means assistant commissioner, joint commissioner, commissioner, all are okay. Assistant commissioner or above, okay, or parallel level. Having regard to nature and complexity in case and interest of revenue, is of the opinion that value has not been correctly declared or credit availed is not within normal limits, then what to do? He may, with prior approval of commissioner, issue direction to registered person to get his records including books of accounts examined and audited by a chartered accountant or cost accountant, as may be nominated by commissioner and specified in said direction. Provisions of special audit shall have effect even if accounts of registered person have been audited under any other provisions of GST. Means, can assessee deny getting books of accounts audited? Can he say my books of accounts are already audited under Companies Act? No. He will have to get books of accounts audited under 66 if direction has been given. Correct? Check. Check. Time limit for completion. What is time limit for completion? It's 90 days. Okay. In exam, whenever it's days, you have to write in days only. Don't convert 90 days in 3 months. Okay, it's 90 days. Okay. Report within 90 days. And when 90 days can be extended, it can be further extended to another 90 days. Okay, on application made by this assistant commissioner. Okay, or for any material and, yes, 90 days from what? Yes, from commencement. Okay, expenses are to be borne by, yes, very good. The expenses shall be borne by commissioner. Okay. Correct. And friends, again, special audit will lead to what, or can lead to what? If there are findings in special audit that there is some tax to be recovered, then it will again lead to 73 or 74. What is 73, 74? You know. Got it? Demand and recovery. Again, the whole topic is given in short here in this latest revised thing. Check everything in short again is given here. We could have easily done these points only, but we don't want that. We wanted a detailed revision. So see, in short revision you can always do here. Happy? On this page numbers 17.18, rather from 17.17. So 17.17, 18, 19, 20. You are going to get, points in short. What we discussed, you are going to get a recap, summary of that. Okay. And in your TYK questions, this 7th question, I would like to go to the 7th question in TYK questions. It's a nice question. So we'll end our session on base after reading and after doing this question. Agreed? You can sit for extra 5 minutes, right? All of you with me? Quickly say yes who are with me. 2 log to chale gaye. There is a standard deduction of 2 people. I know who they are. मेरा बहुत यहाँ पे. Yes. One is Satvika. Second is. 2 लोग चले गए. इतना मुझे पता है. I was having one eye here. Okay. Friends. Let's see this question. This question is on page number 17.21. Are you there on 17.21? Read it. I'll not be surprised if such question is asked in exam. K and Sons has entered into contract to supply consignment of certain taxable goods. However, since it is unable to determine value of goods to be supplied by it, it applies for payment of tax on such goods on provisional basis along with required documents in support for its request. Wonderful. On 12th January, Assistant Commissioner of Central Tax issues an order allowing payment of tax on provisional basis, indicating value on the basis of which assessment is allowed on provisional basis, an amount for which the bond is to be executed and security to be furnished. So whole provisions got revised here. K and Sons complies with the same and supplies the goods on 25th Jan. So friends, for 25th Jan, the time of supply will be 25th Jan. So when the tax should be deposited to the government? Tax should be deposited to the government by 20 of next month. No. Murasa? No. Tax should be deposited by 20 of next month. Always. Clear? If I do a particular supply today, date being 27th October, it will be understood that tax period is of October and tax will be paid by 20 of next month. Is it clear to you? Yes, very good. So thereafter paying the tax on provisional basis on 19th Feb. Consequent to final assessment order passed by Assistant Commissioner of Central Tax on 21st March, tax of 1,80,000 becomes due. Means who is payable to whom? Tell me. Who is payable to whom? Yes, I am waiting for your reply. Consequent to final assessment order passed by Assistant Commissioner of Central Tax, tax of 1,80,000 becomes due. Yes, assessee is payable. Yes, very good. Assessee to government. Very good, very good. To department by K and Sons. Yes, very good. Now, friends, when it is actually paid? It is actually paid on 9th April. K and Sons pays the tax due on 9th April. Question is, determine the interest payable, if any, by K and Sons in the above case. Agreed? Now, you already told me that tax should have been paid by 20 Feb. But you have paid on 9th April. So 20 Feb to 9th April. What is the delay? So Feb 8 days, March 31 days, April full 9 days. So what is the number of days delay? Very good, Rushikesh. 48 days. And very good, Himani. 18% is the rate of interest per annum. Take on your calci 1,80,000 into 18% into 48 by 365. Tell me how much is the interest payable. Yes, very good. 4,261 rupees. Agreed? All these questions, solution is given to you. So I would also request you to do other 6 questions also. Do you promise me to do other 6 questions? You have to promise me many things and you have to literally fulfill that promise. I have got one surprise for you in this batch. Not today, but I am trying to keep one session in the name My Guruji's Blessings. So my Guruji would be coming live to give you blessings for about 30 minutes. He will guide you about December 22 exams. In general, how to keep your mindset in those exams, and he will bless you, and that will have a different effect on your exams. So yes, we are going to have that as well in this batch on particular day. Would you like to do that? Would you like to have that? Rather, I am not keeping it optional. I am just asking you exclamatory mark question, because I have already conveyed to him that such session I want to have with our students, and he has happily agreed. Right now he is in UK, but once he is back and he has done all those things in UK which he wants to do, then we can surely have that session. Okay, so yes, it will be a big boost to you. Now check, assuming, so that's what, all your promises will count then, whether you're fulfilling those promises or not, that will count. Okay, see, because see, learning and this learning is a two-way process. I will give my inputs. To absorb those inputs, you have to give your inputs, then that circle will be complete, right? See, assuming all other facts remaining same, if consequent to final assessment order passed on 21st March, a tax of 4,20,000 becomes refundable. Got the point? Tax of 4,20,000 becomes refundable. Then what will you do? You will get interest. At what rate? At 6% per annum. But check, refund of which is applied on 9th April and tax was refunded on 5th June. Determine the interest receivable. There's a grace period. What's the grace period that government has got to refund you the money? 60 days. Wonderful. So calculate 60 days from date of application. Check. From 9th of April, you calculate 60 days. You can read the provision also here. Really? 8th June. Yes. And when have you got the money? 5th June. So it is within 60 days. So there will be no interest. Check. Read this. How? 9th April. Very good. Read it. That see, section 60 subsection 5 stipulates that where tax liability as per final assessment is less than provisional assessment, that is tax becomes refundable. Consequent to the order of final assessment, the registered person shall be paid interest at the rate specified under section 56 from the date immediately after expiry of 60 days from the date of receipt of application. Clear? Rishika, how you got 8th of June? Yes. Wonderful. Wonderful. So friends, I hope that today's session is totally clear to all of you, and you all have promised me to make most out of this batch. I would need your feedback immediately after today's session, so that we can spread our word of such batch being happening, right? So when I'm taking the batch, I think it should reach to hundreds and thousands of people. It should help them to clear. So please give me feedback on WhatsApp. Yes, so we can tell other students that yes, such batch is happening. It will be helpful for you as well. I don't want to see a single student suffering, especially out of tax. Okay, like because of tax he's having sleepless nights, and because of tax this is happening, that is happening, it is affecting the whole attempt, whole CS. I don't want any such blockages. Okay, that's my aim. So please help us to reach maximum. Let your friends know that yes, such batch is happening, and it will go on till 1st December. It is as good as hand holding session, you must have seen. Yes. So I'll now see you tomorrow. You check tomorrow's schedule. Tomorrow we have kept 2 classes, right? There is one doubt coming up here. I'll just read that doubt. So for how many marks GST theory can be asked in the exam approximately? Okay, so total GST is for 60 marks without options. So I would say 20 minimum. Yes, and I will also discuss on the weightages at the fag end of our sessions. Okay, chalo guys, thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Yes, Pratiksha, thank you for your feedback. Just post it on WhatsApp group as well. Thank you. Bye bye. Good night.